Suit Williams here. Okay. And he, again, there's this artificial fake narrative going on in the IWC right now where AEW's got momentum and WWE's cooling off. Meanwhile, like Raw, that last Raw was incredible. SmackDown was pretty good too. That crowd was really flat. There's a couple things I could pick apart there, which I'll do later. But, the momentum seems as though like WWE's AAA show outdrew tickets wise and viewers wise Double or Nothing, for instance. And Double or Nothing's supposed to be their SummerSlam. So in no way is the tide turning. But we got like this saying, this feels like a day where you can feel the tide turning. Maybe it doesn't stick, but the momentum between the two promotions feels night and day right now. So
yeah,
night and day, I think. Sorry, go ahead.
My advice would be change the S with a C and change the I with an N. You get my exact opinions of Suit Williams. Call back.
Oh my god. Man, I think it's night and day, but not the way he thinks, the opposite than what he thinks.
Yeah, when you look at this past week alone for AEW, they had David Zaslav, whatever it's pronounced, come out and flat out state that AEW on Max was not doing well.
Yeah.
Then on top of that, you had Lance Archer at that MMA show, which apparently Tony Khan is furious about, that he didn't know it was going to be literally filmed and all that.
Yeah.
Like flat out saying, go ask for the free ticket. Like I heard that the problem they're having is that for a stadium show, you need to sell at least 50% to be able to cover up production-wise. Right. They haven't sold 50% for the show. So how are they going to... I'm actually interested to see how they film the show.
Right. They moved
nobody gives a shit.
Right. They moved the setup around a couple times. So someone pointed out as well, like, hey, I bought these tickets, and then now you moved where I'm sitting back 3 rows because you had to bring it in or whatever. And yeah, I've heard that people who work for the venue or like people who work around the area, they're all getting like, here's 4 tickets free, here's 5 tickets free, here's, so yeah, they're just trying to get people to hand them out hand over fist. And unfortunately, yeah, we played that video on the show, Hughezy, and then you messaged me saying, yo, Tony Khan's pissed about that video getting out too, and I fear there might be more like leading the closer we get to the show,
Yeah, and I watched the AAA show. I thought it was great. I thought that Money in the Bank was excellent.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I thought that Raw was unbelievable. It was like so reminded me of an old school Raw. Which Conan said this on the show, so this isn't like an allegedly. Okay. Undertaker produced, or was one of the producers of Money in the Bank, and I would assume Raw. So that's possibly why we're starting to see stuff like, I don't know, big matches being set up, future storylines being teased. All this had made a couple of years ago, really must-see TV again.
Right. And so you had DM'd me that. So for those of you listening, chat, Hughezy had told me that a little bit ago, I think like the other day, Undertaker produced this and that. And then I'm sitting there thinking, oh, that's why Jasper Troy got that in NXT, right? That was Undertaker's guy in LFG on that reality show. And that Jasper Troy guy got a shot at Obafemi too, Hughezy, right away on NXT for the title. He lost, but he had a great showing. And I'm like, shit, that's got to be Taker's influence, And so you're telling me that he's producing Raws and shit now? I love it, man.
Yeah, and the thing is, like, even regardless of what you think about Undertaker, he was always part of really elaborate, and like there was always something that happened in an Undertaker match where, or a segment, there was always like a twist or a big moment that led to the next thing. Right. Which should be happening for everyone. And I don't mean, everybody has like a Hell in a Cell ladder match thing, but every segment should have something happen, because wrestling's not real. It's like a TV show. It's like a film. you need each scene to have like a twist that then says, "Oh fuck, I can't wait to see the sequel to find out what happens to Jack Reacher or whatever." The Jack Reacher season 3 was the greatest thing of TV I've seen in decades. I'm old, so and because every episode there was a shock, then there was a twist, then there was a cliffhanger, and you go, "Fuck, I need to see this again." And that's what was happening on Raw, where all this shit was being teased and set up and shocking twists. Was like, okay, I'm in. And I've got to say, the way they've been able to get Punk into the Saudi thing was actually kind of genius.
Right. They're working the shoots, man. They worked the R-Truth shoot into like a shoot work, and now they're working the CM Punk I'll never go to Saudi into a shoot work. And again, I knew he was going to Saudi, dude. That money talks, right?
There's no, that's what I always say. Like the big, like if you look at the World Cup about 3 years ago, it took place in Qatar, and they had said no women are allowed over here, no gays are allowed to come here, and all the woke fucking FIFA people who for decades had been preaching women's rights and equality just went silent.
Yeah.
And they're like, nope, it's their culture. If that's the way they want to do it, then we have to respect their ways. And it's like yes, because money talks. Like we like if I said to you right now, quit this show and do a show just about fucking old iPods, you'd be like, no, okay, we'll give you $7 million a year. Okay, I'll do 3 episodes a week.
Yeah, exactly. How many times you want me to? How do you want me to dress? What do you want me to wear?
Yeah, and that's the thing. CM Punk isn't going to be wrestling forever. When CM Punk retires, wrestling will continue on. So he's going to make everything he can while he can. And why not get the Saudi money? Like, I fucking would.
Yeah, man. And you know what they say, Hughes?
Wrestling's not fake!
It's all it's all real, man. It's all real. You know? No one's getting worked ever.
And that being said, I'm particularly excited about the Saudi show because it's on at the evening time over here. So I'll actually get to watch it and I'll have to stay up late or avoid spoilers and shit.
Hell yeah, dude. Well, we should I'm gonna go live for it, so you should come on my stream and we should hang out and watch that show if you're down. Unless you don't want to.
I would come on after because I know you're dying to hear me say this again, but I've got a home cinema set up.
Okay.
Yes, I have a 9 foot wide by 7 feet tall home cinema in my double garage because I can't drive, and I have it. Yeah, I have it set up with surround sound and a big recliner chair, and I sit there and I watch films and TV and boxing and pro wrestling and hopefully football soon, or soccer, I should say, and get really drunk in my house and run into the house and take a shit or whack off, maybe both at the same time. Who knows?
Okay, well, here's the thing. This is what's going to happen then. After the show's done, and you can come on shit-faced, and I'll be shit-faced, and we will review it and then do like a Dave Meltzer dumb moment of the week with the chat after the show's done, and then we'll get Hughezy's thoughts, and then we'll make fun of Dave or something if you're down.
Can you put up this J-Log comment here?
Which one is it? So indecency should be encouraged, whether business-wise or society-wise, so money over life. Got it. Yeah, here's one thing. But before you jump in, though, like, I hate how people take shit to just extremes. Like, there's no nuances. We couldn't have a long discussion about this like we were just having. Dude, you don't have to be so extreme about it. But sorry, Hughezy, what are you saying?
But this is the type of person that if a homeless person begged for money, they'd like, get the fuck away from me.
Yeah.
It's like, yeah. Why shouldn't people want to make money? Like, that's what we all do. And especially these days, we're getting taxed out the arse.
Right. And what you said before, too, people like, well, it's just their culture and stuff. But it is that. Like, we've talked about it on this show, too, right? Like, Kenny Omega got mad at Rossi Ogawa because he, quote unquote, fat shamed one of the wrestlers. But it's like, no, in Japanese culture, that's what they do. There's no such thing as fat shaming. That's just like
Yeah.
what they do, man. There's like laws. You look into this shit. Just type that into Grok and look at the difference. Type in differences between fat shaming in Japan and America or whatever. So it's like we get triggered by different shit. So it's like, what's indecent about going to Saudi other than what? Like Punk's a hypocrite? We're all hypocrites, you know? We all, humans are naturally hypocritical, bro, because you change. If you don't change as a person, you're losing, you know? You're losing at life. So, yeah, that's my take on it, you know?
Yeah, I think it's not like Punk's going over there to press gay people or beat women. He's going over there to wrestle a fucking match.
Exactly. We're doing an intergender match, pal. Yeah.
Yeah, the only way to win this match is by taking away a woman's rights.
Yeah, tell her she can't drive.
Yeah, and then and Punk will probably be on the plane literally within 7 minutes of the match ending, and it wouldn't even shock me if Punk versus Cena opened the card.
That's what I'm saying too. He's gonna show up and be gone before anything. Like, you know, there'll be no shot. It's not like he's gonna sit there and shake hands and do the whole. I highly doubt it. You know, but they got Sami Zayn over there. They got Cena over there. They both said they weren't gonna go, and they ended up going, man. So. Speaking of, you know, people being outraged and all that, Ryan Satin. Are you familiar with Ryan Satin?
Yeah, he's a complete wanker.
So he had this to say: I've loved WWE my whole life. And I think this is in response to Triple H meeting up with RFK. Triple H. I don't even know. I don't have a good RFK yet. I'll work on it. But Triple H, I guess, met up with RFK.
There's nothing more bar than he fucking talks like Ken.
CT's real. I know, Hunter. I can't do it yet. We'll get it down though. But
if you don't, he's like, if you don't eat healthier, I'll set myself on fire.
Yeah. Eat healthier. You'll sound like me.
Yeah. Live a life of luxury in a fun way. You'll get the Cheryl from Curb Your Enthusiasm too.
No more gummy bears except on Sundays if you finish your dinner. I've loved WWE my whole life, but I'm having a real trouble now seeing how openly Triple H's WWE supports fascism. Money from my own pocket helped give that family this place of privilege, and it leaves a sick taste in my mouth as I see soldiers on the streets of LA because of Trump. Okay.
Well, that's what Trump said. He said, yeah, let's go hang about in the street for no reason at all.
That's good.
Just take your machine guns, walk around, hang around the streets, everything will be okay.
Oh my God.
You forgot the other half of the story, you stupid fucking. But the thing about it's not like Triple H has specifically said vote for Trump. He's gone to speak to the guy who's in charge of keeping children healthy, such as dieting and exercising. And if more kids did that, we wouldn't have so many fucking incels in the world.
It's so true, dude.
Yeah. Triple H is trying to protect women by saying, okay, no more fat bastards. We want you to watch our show, but you're a fat nerd. Go get a good build, put on a nice t-shirt, and go out to a bar and meet a lady with the big tits and a good hefty fart box.
Yeah, and people were like getting mad. They're like, oh my God, Montez Ford and Angelo Dawkins and Tiffany Stratton and Cody Rhodes went and saw the soldiers at a MAGA rally. And it's like, man, who gives a fuck? I'm so tired of you dumb fucks even caring about this shit. Shut the fuck up. He's the president of the United States, okay? That means more people voted for him than fucking didn't. Shut up. And who cares if they support him? And none of you are crying about AEW. Not to do the whataboutism, but their family and the Bucks and all those guys support Trump too. So cry about them as well. This is why people are getting tired of the media and call them fucking shills. It's like, bro, there's no way you don't keep the same energy both ways. Most rich people support Donald Trump. You know what I mean?
Yeah, exactly.
Even the ones who pretend they don't.
Yeah, when you're like what's the term they use for wrestlers, contracted player or something?
Sure. If, what do you mean? Sorry. What are you getting at?
Well, basically, the wrestlers want to pay as little tax as possible. Therefore,
right. They're independent contractors, bro. They want to pay as little. They're responsible for their taxes. They don't get. Most people go to a job, their taxes get taken off. They're responsible for doing that themselves. They want to. When you're an independent contractor as well, you get fucking. I know. I go through this. You should have seen my fucking taxes last year. It's crazy what I owed at the end of the year. And it's like, luckily I'm in Canada though, and they don't fucking imprison you like in America when you know. But yeah, sorry, Hughezy, to your greater point, they want to pay less taxes as little as possible. You know, who doesn't? Who fucking doesn't?
Yeah, like I don't know if you ever heard the famous thing that Mick Foley, because of Barack Obama, and Mick Foley's like one of the most wokiest Democrats ever.
Right.
He lost a fortune because of the type of tax that Obama put on rich people.
Yeah.
So Foley was like, what the fuck? I was supposed to be retired and sit around with my pain in the arse kids. Instead, he had to start working full time. Well, not full time, but he had to start wrestling again because they were taking your money away. So this guy, right, like pretty much every wrestler is socially a Republican. They may not agree with every fucking like sort of all the real negative points. Like I'm pretty sure
nobody will agree. Hughezy, I don't mean to interrupt, but nobody will agree with everybody 100%. So you have to get that out of your fucking head. If you think any politician on either side, you're going to agree 1-to-1, 100% everything. If you think that's realistic, you're fucking stupid. I'm sorry. There's no way. And to hate someone for voting because they might disagree on a couple major things is the dumbest fucking thing in the world, I think personally. Sorry, go ahead.
No, I totally agree. Like I would admit that if I was American, I would have voted for Trump. But then at the same time, some of the shit that he says about what's the local setting up local factories and do like it's like, but you don't have the workers for it, so that's a silly thing. But anyway, basically, I agree with what you said. Satin trying to label the entire company just because Triple H doesn't want kids eating ice cream, it's fucking stupid.
It is very much stupid. And Hughezy, I know you got to get out of here. Speaking of stupid, I got one quick last sicko for you. This guy says Jey Uso is the most forced wrestler to get pushed to the main event scene since Big Dog Roman. And then Tom Pestock, a.k.a. Bishop Dyer, FKA Baron Corbin, pipes in and says, what the fuck are you talking about? He got over as organic as you can. Every crowd goes nuts when his music hits. No insane moves needed. True definition of being over. Music equals pop. Exactly. That's what pro wrestling is. Do as little as you can, Jack. Do as little as you can, dude. Don't even touch me. It's light as a feather, Rogan. What do you think, Hughezy, about Bishop, Dyer, Baron Corbin clapping back at sickos and keeping it real, like keeping it down the line when people hate on AEW for dumb shit they don't understand, and then when people hate on fucking someone like Jey Uso, he's like the modern John Cena as far as he got over by doing the most minimal shit possible, right? I mean, what are your thoughts on this?
Yeah, and I love the way people go, oh, why would WWE push him as a solo star? And it's like, oh, I don't know, because he fucking headlined WrestleMania. Like WrestleMania 39, the Usos main evented the fucking thing with
Zayn and Owens.
I forgot their name there for a second. Like, so he was already a WrestleMania main eventer that sold a shitload of merchandise as a heel. It's like, okay, then make him a solo star and push him, and he made shitloads of money for himself and the company. Why the fuck would you not push Jey Uso? I'd push all the fucking Samoans. They're all fucking merchandise machines.
Yeah, well, Hikuleo showed up before SmackDown in a dark match too, and we were talking about he's got to come down the line, and he was dressed in his big brothers, Tama Tonga and Tongaloa. He was dressed in their same type of gear. I'm sure you saw it on social media. So he's there and likely part of that faction to align with Solo, the Tongans, and then who knows? They battle Jacob Fatu. You had some fantasy Mark booking about that as well.
Yeah, and although I've got a PTSD because I finally started playing the career mode on 2K25, and I was doing great. And my first loss was to the GOAT, Tongaloa.
Oh yes,
Yeah.
oh yes, Tongaloa.
But I love these fucking fans that go, "Oh, Jey Uso's push was so forced." It's like, hey, kids, I gotta tell you, it's fake. Every push is forced.
Wrestling's not fake!
If wrestling was real, Hulk Hogan would never have got past the mid card because he's a pussy.
And I'd have a 10-inch penis, dude.
Yeah. Hey, brother, where's my sexy daughter? I want to put on her cream. Nothing wrong with that, brother. But the thing, so these fans have to get out of it. This push is so unnatural. This is not real. This is not all this stuff. I thought Jey Uso did fucking great.
Yep. And what do you make of him losing the title to Gunther? Do you believe the sheets? Have you heard anything allegedly that like it's because they're doing Gunther Goldberg?
No, they wouldn't shock me if they did that because they seemed to tease it on way last year.
Yeah,
I'm just worried for Gunther because I if I was him, I would say, listen, I'll do this Goldberg match. I'm not doing any jackhammer spots because we've seen. Here's the problem: as you get older, you lose natural strength, and Goldberg's whole gimmick is that he's a power moves guy. Right. So and we've seen like the Undertaker match and the Bray Wyatt match, and this was fucking years ago, where he could barely lift them up. So now, all these years later, we're supposed to like I would refuse to take the fucking suplex thing, the jackhammer.
Yeah. I think he should have He should have come back to wrestle AJ Styles or Logan Paul. I think those should have been his opponents there, in my opinion, because they'd be able to sell for him like $1 million. You know.
My pick honestly would have been somebody like The Miz.
Yeah.
Because the Miz is a great heel and he can recover from losing, and Goldberg could, and it would be short, and what's his name? Miz would be like great at getting heel heat on him so that people would actually cheer Goldberg. I'm convinced that if they do Goldberg versus Gunther, Goldberg will get booed because young fans don't give a shit who Goldberg is. Older fans know a lot about his behind the scenes dickheadery.
Yeah.
So I don't think this is exactly the response that they're hoping for. And I think again it all comes back to he was in talks with AEW and he was brought back WWE just so that they couldn't have him, which I think was a mistake. They should let him go to AEW.
Goldberg, you think he should have went and got a big bag there and just did like a one-off at an All-In or something?
Absolutely. Like Tony Khan himself has even said that he wanted Goldberg in from the start.
Yeah. So
I would have let him go. I think that basically it's got to the point now where WWE is like, we know we can get you. We know that if we get you, we can make you a star. But we also know that if we don't get you, it's not going to hurt us. Like, one more thing I'm just going to say before I go.
For sure.
Abaddon stuff.
Talk a bit about that, because you were telling me, I know Conan on K100 was saying, talking about Abaddon, and I sort of like paraphrased it to chat, but I was like, look, man, Tegan Knox, because we covered it, Tegan Knox is struggling to get bookings, and Abaddon is, Conan's like, she'll be lucky if she gets $400 now on the indies. She's been outpriced so much, and also it's all of these girls at the same time, Hughezy, Shotzi, Cora, fucking Tegan, I think Jakara, all on the same day had statements going like, yeah, we'd go to AEW. And why do you think that is? Because it's hard out there for a pimp. What were your thoughts on this Abaddon sitch?
Yeah, so basically they're saying that this is one of the problems with AEW is that they get wrestlers to sign for good money, to be fair, and but they get them to sign really long-term deals, like 4, 5, 6 years. So while that means you're going to get paid a lot of money guaranteed, you get devalued so much that while you're personally making millions or hundreds of thousands, you as a character is being devalued as your account's going up. So once you're done with AEW, you're coming out of the company with no or less star power, which means you basically will have to go back to the start, build yourself up all over again. But years later, while the rest of the industry has risen up around you, so like Abaddon is fucking going from getting a 6-figure per year contract to now getting a bare minimum indie scene offer, because like, why would somebody say, oh, we'll give you $4,000 to turn up at our indie show? Like, if Abaddon's there or not, nobody gives a shit.